They don't pay us to think. They pay us to know. We know we can beat them. There's no excuses why we shouldn't win the game. Period. W is on 3, man. Let's go. W on 3. 1, 2, 3. W.
Welcome, all my fellow Redskin brethren and sister. I am your man and resident Redskins fan, Lou. Thank you for joining me here on the Redskins Report. Let me first apologize to any Redskins fans that have been subjected to this. My man Jay Moo hit me up on the way to the game, said, hey, look, man, normally the train has a lot more Redskins jerseys, a lot more Giants jerseys on it. I only seen 2 jerseys on the train heading to the game, and I was like, hey, look, man, shit's getting real. You know, shit's getting real. There's a level of apathy setting in with the fan base. They're not coming to games. They're not watching it at home. The ratings are down locally for these Redskins games. That Redskins-Eagles game on Monday night, the ratings were atrocious. I said, yeah, but there are a number of factors. Mark Sanchez is your starting quarterback. The Giants stink at 4-8. The weather outside is nasty if you're on the East Coast. And there are a number of things that could be affecting the lack of people out there. But let's be honest. It's a bad product right now. And so let me apologize to all the fans that went to the game. I applaud you and commend you for your ability to fight through the elements, number one. And number two, I give you the highest medal of honor for your support of this team and this horrendous product right now. Your loyalty can't be questioned. For those of you watching at home, I apologize to you, as this was a tough one to watch. This one rivals the San Diego game. What was that? Last year? I think that was last year's game at the Chargers in L.A. And I think I just called them San Diego. Yeah. The Chargers game last year was pretty bad. It was as bad as it got last year. Maybe the Giants game to finish up the season. But that was week 17. And when you're bad, week 17 is always bad. And both teams stink. And so, yeah, there's that. But really, if you're not watching this, if you're out of market and you're a Redskins fan, you were lucky. You were one of the lucky ones. You didn't have to watch what went down in the first half today. I honestly believe, though, that what happened in the first half of this game was a necessary evil. I can't stand losing. I hate it. I abhor losing. There's no excuse for losing. There's never a good time to lose. I want high draft picks, but I don't want to do what it takes to get a high draft pick. I don't want to lose. But in order to affect change, in order to make Daniel Snyder do something, the product on the field has to match what the fan base is telling him. And had Jay Gruden somehow managed to win 2 out of the final 4 games, or somehow managed to make this team somewhat competitive down the stretch, and they finish up 7-9, maybe he keeps his job. Maybe they do the same thing they did last year. And I was on board last year when all the injuries set in, and Jay Gruden, I thought he did a hell of a job with what he was given, with the injury situation, what it was, the Kirk Cousins situation looming over the franchise's head, which they put themselves in that position. But nonetheless, I thought he did a beautiful job last year. Thought he deserved to come back. Thought he deserved to have an opportunity to prove that with a healthy roster, a defense that was improving, another offseason to improve this roster, that maybe he could be a better coach. You know, I'm a Jay Gruden fan. You know that. At heart, I'm a Jay Gruden guy. But at this moment, and I've said this before, but I'm just going to re-hammer this point home and echo my sentiments from earlier in the season. Jay's got to go. Jay's not the guy for the job. Jay's a great guy. Seems like, I don't know him personally, seems like a guy you could go out, kick it, have a beer with, and chill. Jay's not a great head coach. You know, Jay the first quarter of today's game is, to me, a microcosm and a theme of what the Redskins have been under Jay Gruden. Undisciplined, unfundamentally sound. The first quarter of this game, the game was there for the taking. The Giants stink, okay? They stink, just like we do. But we have a reason to stink. They just stink. They're 4-8, and they came into this game playing much better. They were 3-1 in their last 4 games. So, you know, they were playing with a little bit more confidence than we had, losers of 3 straight. But they came out flat in the game just like we did, you know. But 3 drop passes in the first quarter, 5 penalties for 50 yards, and a pick six. That got the ass whooping started. And that's the Redskins under Jay Gruden's tenure, to me, in a nutshell. A team that's undisciplined, a team that doesn't have the focus that is necessary to compete at a high level in this league on a consistent basis. Yeah, you'll get a week or two where this Redskins team comes out and plays well, but they don't sustain that week in and week out. You can't count on the Redskins for an entire month to play great football and be competitive in every single game and win the games they're supposed to and look good in doing so in a month stretch. And somewhere in that month, they're going to look like a team that's unprepared. They're going to look like a team that is undisciplined. They're going to look like a team that's coached by a head coach that doesn't have the ability to force his team to do the little things correctly. And for that, you got to have another guy come in. And this is not just a Jay Gruden problem. It's a fire sale right now. And Daniel Snyder, I hope he's taking notice. And an ass whooping like this should affect change. These are the types of ass whoopings. You saw what happened to the Packers last week with Mike McCarthy. You lose at home to the Cardinals, shit's got to change. You get your ass whooped by a 4-8 Giants team. I don't give a shit if they're playing better. No ODB in this game. No Odell. And you get your ass handed to you. I've made a conscious decision not to watch the second half of this game. For the first time in over 25 years, I'm not watching the second half of a Redskins game. Not a single second. I will not waste another second of my time that is precious on this football game or this team for this current week. And if shit doesn't change soon, if I don't feel like shit is on the cusp of changing, I won't watch the rest of the season either. There's really no reason at this point. We know what this team, I told you the season was dead after Colt McCoy went down on Monday night. There was no hope for me. I don't know about you. If you were holding out hope, bless your heart. But season was done on Monday. Season died. I told you that repeatedly on Monday. Season was over. And I told you that a Redskins video was coming this week. I wanted to see how the team responded on Sunday. This is exactly why. We've got so much to discuss. Bruce has to go. Bruce can't survive this time. He hired Jay Gruden. He's been at the forefront of all of the chicanery that's gone on with this franchise since 2010 when he came on board. He cannot survive. I think it was 2009. Either way, he can't survive. If Bruce Allen is back, then nothing has changed. You hire a new coach, nothing has changed. Bruce has to go. Jay has to go. The only two guys that need to survive that are of note, Eric Schaefer, Doug Williams. They need to promote A.J. Smith because everybody, from what I'm hearing in the building, everybody's saying he's the next big thing out of our building as a GM. He's going to get a job as a GM somewhere else if he doesn't get it in Washington. Well, great. Promote him to GM. He can report to Doug because Doug's senior VP of Order of Operations, whatever the hell Doug's title is, it's higher than GM. So keep Doug on board because Doug's done a great job. They've thrown Doug under the bus. Poor Doug. Throwing him out there as the scapegoat for everything. Reuben Foster, hey, Doug, go tell him it's okay. Adrian Peterson, hey, Doug, go tell him it's okay. Any shit that goes wrong, hey, Doug, you go out there and you handle it, man. You tell him it's okay. They won't kill you. If Bruce does it, they'll kill him. Well, time to get Bruce the hell out of here. Get his ass the hell out of here. He's got to go. Sick and tired of his shit. Sick and tired of winning off the field. They can't even get the goddamn jerseys right. I told these bastards what jerseys to wear when we were at home. We get to decide what the hell we put on when we at home. They still don't know that they're supposed to wear white tops, burgundy bottoms. Get goddamn Bruce Allen the hell out of here. Get his ass the hell out of here ASAP. Sick of this shit. He's got to go. Jay's already fired. Jay's gone. This game nailed his coffin shut. Jay's ass is done. He's the least of the problems, though. Jay's got to go, but Bruce has to go this time. And if he doesn't, there will be a mutiny among the Redskins fan base. They will force Bruce out. Dan cannot ignore us this time. We hold the power now. We're not showing up to games. We're not buying merchandise. We're starting to hit his ass where it hurts. He has no choice, just like back in 2008 when he tried to hire Jim Fossil, and we all put our foot down and said, hire Jim Fossil if you want to. Try us if you want to. And then he had to go hire Jim Zorn. Shit wasn't better, but we got our way. I can tell you this much. If he doesn't fire Bruce, shit's going to hit the fan, man. Because I can tell you, as a fan, a lifelong fan, there's a lot of things I've put up with this organization, man. A lot of shit I've put up with, man. And a lot more shit that I'm going to put up with when it's all said and done. But one thing I don't make is empty threats. You know the person I can't stand? The person that calls up Sprint and threatens to leave Sprint, knowing damn well they ain't going nowhere. Hell, if you don't take this off my bill, I'm going to Verizon. Well, can't you ask the Verizon then? Pull their card. Make them go. You know why? They're not going to go. What I don't do is make empty threats. I don't make empty threats. If Bruce is back, I won't watch Redskins football next year. I won't do it. I don't give a damn who you. I don't care if you bring back Joe Gibbs for the third time. If Bruce Allen is back as general manager, I don't know if I'm watching Redskins football next year. I can tell you that much. It's gotten to the point now where things have to change. And to me, he is public enemy number one. For all of the good he has done with the salary cap and some of the issues off the field, the name and the stadium, all of those things, Bruce has been great. But everything he's done well has been overshadowed I'm talking about by leaps and bounds overshadowed by all of the trash he's done, whether it's the McLuhan situation, whether it's the Kirk situation, whether it's the roster, whether it's the comments winning off the field, whether it's the on-the-field product, whether it's hiring Jay Gruden. Bruce Allen has failed this organization 50 million times over. And I know he's been a shield for Dan Snyder, but what you have to understand as Redskins fans, and I know a lot of you think out there that this guy has a lifetime contract. As long as Dan Snyder owns the team, Bruce isn't going anywhere. We thought the same thing about Vinny Serrato's ass. And Vinny was part of the family. Vinny was at every Dan Snyder family function. They were best of friends. But you know what? At some point, your friends have to go if they're not doing their goddamn job. And I thought we would never see the day that Vinny Serrato carried his funky monkey ass. But guess what? Even his day came. And now, we've had it not up to here. We've had it up to here with Bruce Allen's shit. He's got to go. We can't stand it another goddamn season. I want his ass gone the minute, the final second, because it's not going to happen right now. It's not going to happen after this game. That'd be too much like right. The minute the final second ticks off the clock on Week 17's loss to the Eagles, get his ass out of there. ASAP. Pack your shit up and go. Much faster than slow. Get the hell out. Take Jay with you. We need to start this shit all over. And I don't know who we're going to get to come here. You know, because our quarterback situation stinks. We owe money to Alex Smith. Colt McCoy, we owe money to him in one more year on his contract. I don't know what the hell we're going to do at quarterback. We might have to draft one, but even if you draft one, what the hell? I mean, I honestly don't know. All I can tell you is you need to build up the defense because that's the only way we're going to win football games. And I don't know who you're going to get to want to take this job. Somebody will want to be Redskins head coach. I don't know if it'll be all the candidates that may be on the wish list, but somebody will want to come here because there's only 32 of these jobs in the league. Somebody's going to want one of 32. May not be the guy that we want, may not be the guy that you want, but somebody will take the goddamn job. And what I don't want to do, though, is I don't want to hire Jim Zorn again. All right? So while I want Jay gone, I do want a plan in place, a guy to target that wants to come here. Easier said than done because right now, this is a train wreck. This organization is a train wreck. I don't want a good football team. I want a healthy organization. Our organization has been infected by Dan Snyder for 2 decades. Well, guess what? Dan isn't going anywhere. The only way to somewhat subdue this infection is to put more good football guys in the building that can drown Dan out. The more distance we create from Dan and the football operations and just allow him to run the damn organization as a whole. You want to charge a bunch of money for parking and concession? Knock yourself out. But we need football guys in the building. Guys that are able to tell Dan, hey, Dan, we got this, bruh. We got this. We can take care of it. The further away we get away from the days of Dan Snyder's input, and I think we've come a long way. This is not the same Dan Snyder that was firing up Redskin 1 to go pick up 18 million free agents and signing everybody under the sun because Dan thought it was the fun thing to do. Like it was fantasy football. That's not where we're at right now. But what we do have is a Dan Snyder protection problem. At first it was Vinny Serrato, and it went from Vinny Serrato to Bruce Allen. We need a guy to come in and not be the shield for Dan Snyder, but be an actual football guy that wants to come in and help. And this roster isn't terrible. Like, for all of the bad things that have been done over the last decade, roster management hasn't been terrible. Yeah, there have been the occasional bonehead signing. The Albert Haynesworth obviously comes to mind. You know, there's some other ones out there that weren't great. But look, the defense, we got young, talented football players on the defensive side of the football. We still are missing a lot of stuff. But we've come a long way on that side of the football. On the offensive side, we got a long way to go. The receiver position, Jamison Crowder, hey, K your ass, man. Been hurt all year, came back dropping shit. He can go. All right? Like, the whole receiver position, to be honest with you, I'm ready to blow that shit up. Just take a whole bunch of dynamite, whole bunch of TNT sticks, light that shit up, and just walk away. Slow motion, cinematography, and just watch that shit blow as I walk away in slow motion. Blow the receiver position up. Keep Doxson. Keep Quinn. Mo Harris can carry his ass. Jamison Crowder can carry his ass. And anybody else can go at receiver. Who else is that receiver that we have? I don't know. Quinn and Doxson can stay. Everybody else can go. Michael Floyd, K your ass. Everybody else, bye, go, leave, now. Start from scratch. Whether it's free agency or the draft or a combination of the two, I'm ready to throw all of that shit away at receiver. The offensive line, it's one of those situations that's frustrating because we just can't stay healthy up front. Trent is going to get hurt at some point. Happens every year. Laval has to go this year. Okay, I'm done with the Sean Laval project. All right. It was, and what was one of my biggest gripe going into the season was what? Offensive guard depth. I said, man, we got to do something at guard. I'm not comfortable with this. And they went into the season like Sean Laval was going to play off 16. When's the last time Sean Laval's played 16 games in a season? I don't know if he ever has. Bottom line is, that situation has to be fixed. Draft a guy, free agency, something. Got to fix offensive guard. You got to re-sign Sheriff. And Morgan Moses, he's starting to piss me off too. These false starts are getting ridiculous. And he plays hurt every week. I don't have a Momo problem. But damn it, he's got to stop jumping false start. He had 2 more today. Shit's got to stop. Jordan Reed got hurt again today. I'm not mad at Jordan Reed. This season has been tough on him because we don't have anybody at receiver. Teams come into the game saying 86 won't beat us. Anybody but him. And guess what? Nobody but him can beat the other team. Chris Thompson hasn't looked the same since the New Orleans game when he got hurt. He had another drop today, not making anybody miss. We'll see what Geis is. We have no clue what he's going to be when he comes back. The offense needs work. Offense needs a mini overhaul. The defense needs a couple pieces, one at each level. I want to see Monte Nicholson go back to safety. Ha Clinton Dix, peace, deuces. Thanks for playing. We need another corner, maybe two. Josh Norman may not be back. And Fabian Moreau, as you saw today, I don't know if he's equipped to play on the outside or not. Got beat and got a PI. That's why they kicked him inside to the nickel. So we may need two corners, two starters. Meanwhile, Bashard Breeland is catching pick sixes for Green Bay today. But then there's that. Anyway, bottom line is you need corner help. You need linebacker help. You need an edge rusher. And Preston Smith is probably leaving for free agency. So there's that too. Anyway, long story short, I am pretty much at wit's end with the way the team is constructed right now from a front office standpoint. Obviously, hindsight is 20/20. You know, if we knew that it was going to go the way that it went, Sean McVay probably was the right choice, and we probably should have fired Jay Gruden and kept Sean McVay and promoted him to head coach. But I don't want to go through that because I wasn't on board with that. I was still a Jay guy at that time. Fast forward 2 years into the future to the present time, and now I want Jay gone. I want Bruce gone. I want A.J. Smith promoted to GM, and I want this thing to start over. I want to hit the reset button, and I want to hit it now. So we got 2 more weeks of this nonsense, this tomfoolery. 3 more weeks, of this tomfoolery. And then I need changes to happen ASAP. If they don't, then there will be consequences. And I'm not bullshitting. I don't make empty threats. So we'll see what happens. But we'll discuss all of this week. I'll probably have an open forum, allow you guys to vent. And we'll come back and revisit this topic a little bit later on. But I'm not watching a second of the second half of that game. I'll leave it up to you guys to do that. I'm going to get some of this Chiefs and Ravens, some real football with 2 teams that are actually good, look like they want to make the playoffs. I'm going to watch that instead. So I am a Redskins fan, etched in burgundy and gold. A Redskins spirit will never die. Redskins spirit will never fold until we meet again. Hail to our beloved Washington Redskins. Changes are coming. I'm confident. Dan can't ignore it. This ass whooping, to me, starts the clock on changes for the Redskins. They have to happen. They're not optional at this point. They must take place. I'm confident that Dan is paying attention. He is not blind to what's going on around him. He sees the seats in the stadium empty, right? He understands that people aren't watching at home. People aren't watching in the stadium. He understands that change has to come. And it can't just be Jay Gruden. He's not the problem alone. He has to fire Bruce Allen as well. I think it's going to happen. I'm confident it's going to happen. I'd love to hear from you guys. Drop it in the comment section. Love to hear from you guys. I'm your man, Louie T, signing off. I'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.
Louie T Network.